everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's been a hot minute since I uploaded on here. Sorry, I've been really struggling lately with just like what's the word? I've really not been feeling motivated, and it's really hard to film and get yourself into that headspace when you're not feeling motivated. Sorry, I just knocked my camera. Yeah, it's just been a bit of a situation, and I kind of was just like sitting down and deciding what I really wanted to do in life, and yeah, it was just a bit of a hard time, but I'm back. I'm going to up my content more, like be more consistent with my content, so we're just going to get straight into it. So this is a very different video for me. Oh, by the way, firstly, I had my hair cut this morning. Thank God, I love a blunt cut. I'm so happy that I can finally like do normal things. I've got my hair cut, I've booked in my waxing, I've booked in my laser hair removal. I'm so excited. Anyway, that was a side topic. This is a very different video for me. I've never done anything like this on my channel before. This is going to be a story time video. Never done a story time on my channel, and if I like it, if you guys like it, let me know. I'll do some more. Yeah, I've got a lot of stories to tell. So this one, by the way, I've got my notes because, you know, I like a notepad and to-do list. This is my experience of when I used to work for Estēe Lauder. So everyone knows Estēe Lauder. It's quite a well-known brand, not cheap, quite high-end. I used to work for them, so I'll just do a story time. So when I finished sixth form, I went to college after sixth form to do a 2-year college course in hair and media makeup, which was like special effects makeup, and I'd done 2 years there. I can't remember whether it was in the first year or the second year. I think it was the first year, where, so I was 18. We had a presentation done by loads of different companies. They were like pitching to us basically, to our college. One of them was the Estēe Lauder Bureau, which I'll briefly explain. So you've got Estēe Lauder, you have the Estēe Lauder Bureau, which under Estēe Lauder, so many brands fall under Estēe Lauder. Like I didn't even realise. So you've got like MAC, DKNY, Bobbi Brown, Aramis, Bumble and Bumble, Origins, like literally so many brands fall under Estēe Lauder. And the Estēe Lauder Bureau is like a consultant agency for those brands. I'll explain in more detail. So anyway, they pitched this presentation, and out of my class, 2 people were able to be selected to be put forward for an interview. And I was one of those people that was selected, along with another girl, I won't mention her name. We were selected and we had to go for an interview, but it was a group interview between the other college girl students that had also been picked in their class. Now obviously Estēe Lauder is a high-end brand, so for the interview I had to wear a smart outfit. Heels were an absolute must, couldn't wear flats. Full face of makeup, hair done, nails done, like everything had to be perfect. So I had my group interview, which was I actually prefer a one-on-one interview than I do a group. I think that was harder because you could like tell, like it was going down the line of they asked every person the same question, each person had to answer, and you can tell it was like a bit of a competition in your answer. And then when somebody before you gave an answer you wanted to give and you was like, damn it, like I wanted to say something, and you had to think of something on the spot, it was actually really hard. So yeah, then there was that. And then if you went past that interview, you then got a second one-to-one interview in their head office in Holborn, which I did. I did get a second one-to-one interview. I went to the Estēe Lauder Holborn office, and you had to, all I remember, I was in heels and had to walk up so many flights of stairs because they were right at the top, and I was like, no, thank you. But yeah, and also a thing to know, it's like all coming back to me, you could not be late for that interview even by 1 minute. If you were 1 minute late, they would not let you in. Like, absolute cut off, they wouldn't let you in. So obviously I was early, I was like 10 minutes early. I went in, sat down, I was really scared, and then they took me into like this meeting room, and the lady, I can't remember her name, she was so lovely. I felt so relaxed in that interview. It was really nice interview. I can't fault their interview process. And yeah, so I had my interview, and then I was on the train home, and literally on the train home they called me and was like, Charlotte, we want to offer you the job. And I was like really excited. So from there, once been offered the job, you obviously, before you start with them, you have to have training. So I had to attend to like training days, where I had to be a mystery shopper as well. I had to go into Debenhams in Romford and go to one of their counters and check out how the counters were. I had to buy a product and all this stuff. So I had to be a mystery shopper. But yeah, I did have like a lot. I think it was like 3 different training days. One was a makeup training, one was standard like training, like customer service, professionalism and all this stuff, how you deal with different scenarios. Another was fragrance training, where I actually learned a lot about fragrance. I learned about the wood notes of fragrance and all these different things, what makes a fragrance. And I must say, they really cater for their training sessions. They are outstanding. I got a free Bobbi Brown makeup book as a gift for the first training session. The perfume fragrance training, I got a free DKNY fragrance. And everybody got that. Like, it was just, they really like go all out, I must say. And then once you've done your training, then you go to obviously work. Because they are the Estee Lauder Bureau, you're more of like a consultant. So basically you get a scheduled rota of like set places you're going to work. But apart from that, unless you get a set place to work on a set day, you're on standby. So at any day throughout the week, they can call you before a set time in the morning and be like, can you go to blah 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 and work on blah blah blah. So a lot of the jobs I got were fragrance, so within like boots, and plus I got 2 boots jobs. One was in Westfield, Stratford, and one was in up London somewhere. All I remember was Sedley Place. I don't know what boots Sedley Place. I think that was like Oxford Street boots or something. I had to work there, and I was on fragrance, and they are long shifts, like long shifts. And you just are like those fragrance people, like, oh, can I interest you in this, blah blah blah. And with Estee Lauder, you work on commission. So every time you sold a fragrance, you carry your like commission sheet with you. I like had it in my pocket, and you'd tick like sold this fragrance, and however many you sold was your commission, on top of your wage. That's what I didn't like. I didn't like the standby working sort of thing. So that like could call me up. One time they called me up and was like, oh, can you go to White City in an hour? No, hun. But you couldn't really kind of say no. That's what I didn't really like going like the last minute notice of it. Like, it wasn't like a set, like you work in the Estee Lauder store all the time. Like, it was very hit and miss like that. I remember one time I worked in the staff discount shop, which is like hidden away somewhere in London. That was fun. I got to see all the other Estee Lauder employees come in on their lunch breaks, purchasing stuff. You can only buy a set amount of products a month. Like, each Estee Lauder employee is assigned a code, and that code is like your PIN code at the staff shop, and it has a balance of money that you're allowed on there per month, or a balance of items. And every time you go, obviously you're only allowed a set amount of items a month, and then etc. So that was quite fun. I remember at the start I was given this big binder of literally, it was like a guidebook, handbook of everything I needed to know. So there was like how to dress, how to act, all this stuff, and then there was like all the different possible places that you could work, and there was all instructions about that place, like where the staff entrance was, security, all stuff like that. Like, it was everything you needed to know was in that binder. And it was massive. It was like this thick. Yeah, that was that. And every time you worked, so the majority of the time I worked, even though I only worked in boots on fragrance majority of the time, you had to dress like fully dress up. So you had to do your hair and cut, like preferably curled or straight. Like, it had to be like done. Full face of makeup, absolutely must, with lipstick, absolutely. Could be a nude lipstick though. And you had to dress like a smart dress, plain black dress preferably, to the knee, and you had to wear heels. Like, had to. There was no question. You couldn't wear flats. Like, you had to wear heels, and they had to be over 2 inches or over 3 inches. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But yeah, you had to wear heels. And I remember one time I was in boots and I was working like a 10-hour shift. Like, I was working a really long shift. My feet were killing me, and I chose to wear like stiletto heels, course, didn't I? And on my break I had to run to Primark and try and buy another pair of shoes. It was a disaster. But yeah, I've also got some, these are my bank statements from when I used to work there. I've got 5 because I only worked there for 5 months. I blocked this out so you can't see my address, but as you can see, it does say my name and it does say Estēe Lauder Companies, and I have loads of those. Just for proof, in case, I don't know why anyone wouldn't believe me, but yeah, I definitely worked for Estēe Lauder. I feel like I'm speaking really fast. I only worked there for about 5 weeks. I said 5 months, I didn't work there 5 months, I worked there for about 5 weeks. Was it 5 weeks or 5 months? I have 5 pay slips, so 1 a month. So 5 months? It doesn't feel like I worked there for that long, it feels like I worked there less. Basically, the reason I quit was because I didn't like the fact that you'd get randomly called up and be like, oh, can you go to White City? I didn't like that. It was very like hit and miss. Some days you wouldn't have work, some days you would. And even when you did work, yeah, it was great. You had great benefits, great discount, amazing commission. But like, it just, I didn't like the hit and miss of it. Like, I like a job where it was very like structured, and yeah, I'm going to be working at this place all the time, Monday to Friday, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so I didn't work there for that long. I went to their Christmas party in Soho, I think it was. Really nice venue. It was like in a basement in a bar somewhere. It was really nice, and obviously they paid for everything. I can't fault Estēe Lauder as a company, I literally can't, but it's just that style of working, like where it was hit and miss, I didn't really like, so that's why I quit. But it was a really good experience, and I'm really glad I've done it. Oh my god, my nose is, this happens to me all the time. But yeah, so that is my experience working for Estēe Lauder. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I feel like I really talked fast, but yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this kind of like story time. I've got lots of different stories to tell. I've worked a few different jobs, and just story times in general. So let me know your thoughts. I hope you all enjoyed this different kind of video from me today. Give it a massive thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!